Welcome to episode 1284 of Hard Factor. It is Wednesday, August 30th, 2023. Thank you for cheating on the news with us. 80-ish% accuracy guaranteed right here. Today, Wes has sorority boners, anal beads, chess style, and more in your cup of coffee in the big time.
That's right. Gonna go to a couple old stories and update you. And pretty interesting stuff. So
sounds like it. Yeah.
Stay tuned.
You said what? He has what? He said what?
Sorority boners, I said.
Yeah, and an anal bead.
What
Sorority
do your
boners?
sponsored ads look like after looking all that up?
I don't know. I didn't pay attention.
He's got a couple Bibles.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
self-help.
Yeah,
a
self-help.
real variety in there. Yeah. Pat's got a West Texas town upset after a mall manager went rogue.
Oh yeah, he took care of a pest problem himself, and it's gone bigger than the West Texas town that's upset. It's the entire bat-loving community of the globe.
Like, you mean like Batman when you say Batman?
Vampires.
Talking the very one that bit Bruce Wayne.
Ooh. Okay.
Nice. I've got professional children after that, and then Mark's got a one-of-a-kind medical case that will make you squirm to close out this episode.
It's gonna make you squirt. Yeah.
Squirm in a good way?
Wiggle. No. No.
That's a problem because when I squirm, shortly thereafter I sperm.
Right. It's not a toe. It's not a toe curling squirm. It's an asshole tightening, teeth
Leg
grinding,
shaker.
teeth grinding squirm.
Inextricably linked for me, Mark. So
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm still intrigued. Remember to set Hard Factor to automatically download on all the podcast apps that you listen or watch on. You never know when you're going to need the latest Hard Factor to get you through an unforeseen internet blackout. Plus, they turn off the download automatically all the time in the back end. So just go ahead and do it. It helps you, helps us, helps everybody.
yeah, just get in there and do it.
Auto download, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever. Both.
Sure.
That's right. Shake some legs.
Squirm and sperm.
Don't tell Pat something gross. He'll come.
Oh.
Don't make me squirm. You know what's next.
Yeah.
What are you guys, speaking of all that, what are you guys talking about in the Hive Hour this week?
Oh, it's too early for that.
It's tough to say.
Way too-
Anybody have their eyes on anything?
I wouldn't mind going back to check on Take Away the Milkman, how he's doing over there.
The Takeaway Milkman over there at fetish.com.
Maybe check in on our girls at J-Date.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
lot of follow-ups
Yeah.
possible in there.
Yeah, it might be a follow-up, so but not like a rerun, so like a new journalism.
Right. Well, yeah, like extending the journeys, the previous journeys.
You're never going to get any. To go fishing, you have to cast the line, they say. So you got to get out there. You got to try to take away that milk. You got to try to get some commissary money in Jenny from Missouri's thing. Yeah.
Well, we got we need to get back in touch
here.
Yeah.
Get that at patreon.com/hardfactor. Also, submit all your stuff to Pat this week for this week's high five if you want to hear it back on Friday's episode.
Do me a favor, 512-270-1480. That's our voicemail number. So dial that up. I'm gonna give a little an example of one of my favorite voicemails of all time. It was from Dallas Dave. And
Soothing tones.
His buddy
That
over
guy
there-
will make you squirm with his voice.
His buddy over there in California that makes you sperm.
Yeah.
And he was talking about, hey, you take I think he brought up the rent thing. Hey, a buddy owes another buddy $4,000 in rent, and I'm going to the wedding. Do I say something? Brought something else up about, hey, if you take a date to a wedding, is it okay if she bangs another dude? All sorts of
turned
stuff.
out to be the opposite. It turned out to be San Diego. Pat brought a girl and went and strayed from her.
SDP.
What a saga.
So anyway,
Ooh, but
What a saga it was.
I digress. My point is, I love a little complicated personal story asking the boys, how'd you handle this?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, so get Pat some of that. I've never taken a Quaalude, but Dallas Dave's voice sounds to me like what a Quaalude would
You
feel
can't,
like.
Will. They stopped making them.
Well,
I just would listen. I listen to Dallas Dave and imagine that's what it feels like.
why isn't he narrating stuff like in YouTube, like the podcast that was on YouTube, like the Let's Not Meet, like all those Reddit stories? Why isn't he doing that type of thing?
Well, I think Will's onto something because do you know who took a lot of Quaaludes? Was Ben Stein, who did the Bueller and Ferris
Legendary
Bueller's
voice
win his
band,
money.
Yeah, he wrote a book called Ludes. That's how much he loved Quaaludes.
Whoa.
You really love Ludes, man.
Wrote a whole book about it.
But he stayed smart. So
I've honestly, when Dallas Dave does grace us with a voicemail on the voicemail email, if I'm tired, I'll go in and just listen to it.
Let him put you to sleep.
Yep.
yeah. Right.
It's a little weird, I know, but I've done it.
What's it called?
Oh, that's
What's
a nice
that genre
lullaby,
called?
yeah.
ASMR.
ASMR?
Yeah, ASMR. He could do that for sure.
Sure, that makes me
Easily.
squirm.
Yeah, no kidding.
I feel like we're all talking slower and
We are.
softer.
Yeah.
Just thinking about Dallas.
Listen to this episode at half speed.
You slow it down.
Yeah.
Well, what do you say we amp it up a little bit, huh?
Yeah.
Ramp it up.
Cup of coffee in the big time.
Cup of coffee in the big time. Got a joke for you guys. A nurse in an old folks' home walked past one of the bedrooms to see an elderly lady sucking her husband's cock. She came in and said, "Mrs. Phillips, you can't do that." And Mrs. Phillips says, "Why not? I enjoy doing it." And the nurse says, "Yes, but it was meant to be buried with the rest of them."
Ooh. Whoa, but a ching. The dark one.
Whoa, there was an even darker one along the same lines in our Discord. Did you get that from the Discord?
No, I didn't. I looked. There's a Reddit.
Someone put a similar thing. It goes, "It's really awkward when my friend catches me smelling his sister's panties, and what makes it even more awkward is it was at her funeral."
Right.
Oh.
Little necrophilia jokes for everybody. Nice.
There you go.
Yeah. I mean, hey.
That'll make it
classic.
squirm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Two deer walk out of a gay bar. One says to the other, "I can't believe I blew $50 in there."
$50. That's a good one.
At least they were all of age, you know.
Yeah, that's right.
Consensual. Yeah.
That's right. Consensual. Guys, let's talk a little football, huh? As I don't know if you know this, but the Patriots are trading veteran kicker Nick Folk to
Whoa.
the Titans. Can you believe this?
What a blockbuster move.
I'll tell you who isn't going to be happy are the Texans, the Colts, and the Jaguars, who now have to face Folk, because as we know, those three teams round out the AFC South, and that's going to be tough.
Woo!
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fucking nailed it.
Golly.
He brings a lot of points with them, Nick Folk. to
Yeah.
any team. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man, who
AFC
hasn't he
South's in
played
trouble.
for? Yeah,
Huh?
toast.
I also saw that the Patriots got rid of Zappy and only have Mac Jones on their roster, on their 53-man roster as a
Because
quarterback.
they have that backup
Yeah.
guy. They have that receiver that can play quarterback.
But why'd they get rid of Zappy?
Because the receiver is now the backup QB, probably.
But they only have one. You need 3 QBs.
Yeah, Zappy's going to get picked up. So will Will
This is
Greer. That's
backfiring.
crazy. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, Wes, you just brought up football. Now we actually want to talk about
Maybe
it.
Folk could play quarterback. The Patriots are so stupid.
But the real football news is are these photos. I don't know if you guys have seen these photos. This is Tom Brady's alleged lover, Irina Shayk, on a little topless photo shoot on her beach day
With not Tom Brady.
with not Tom Brady, no, with her ex, Bradley Cooper. Okay.
Yeah.
Now
Oh,
they
damn. Well, and Brady's
Yeah.
been spotted with Kardashian so much. So, whoa.
That doesn't look like a friendly trip.
doesn't look like a
Oh,
friendly trip. Neither
Looks sensual.
neither did this trip when they went to the Bahamas last year together. Now
yeah.
the two do share a daughter together, and it's great they're co-parenting. In fact, sources close to Tom Brady says that's one of the things that he, admires most about her. He finds it very attractive that she's able to peacefully co-parent with Bradley. But what he doesn't know is that Bradley's fucking her behind his back.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
They're co
And-
something. She's moving down
yeah.
an inch. Yeah.
Here's a
Is there co-arrangements going on here? I mean,
Here's-
because it would make sense.
Yeah, this is a picture from the same day of Bradley topless. Does that look like the kind of photo you take with a guy you aren't still fucking?
Wouldn't
Probably
mind
not.
co-parenting with Irina Shayk.
Yeah,
Right.
This,
I mean,
this
like,
kind of photo.
This could be an everybody wins scenario.
I feel like
Mhm.
it's Bradley Cooper, right?
Bradley Cooper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's such like an artist actor, you know, that like he can he can swing it to you where you think that you're just friends with him if you're her. And you believe it. He can swing that.
You think he's that good of an actor? He's given Tom Brady Oscar-worthy performances, and that's why Tom Brady thinks nothing's going on.
Because he's such a sensitive artist, Will, they have a deep connection, right? That he convinces her he does not want to extinguish, even though there's no feelings for each other. It's just platonic.
He puts on the fake Jewish nose and convinces Tom that
exactly.
Yeah. Did you guys see that? We covered the story where he puts on the fake Jewish nose for his new movie, and some people are not happy about that. And then we went back. Someone left a comment saying he didn't even use prosthetics when he played the Elephant Man on Broadway. And if you look at the Elephant Man photos, he goes like full like this, and it's like in all of his acting photos, he leans into those roles.
He's got confidence in his skills. Yeah.
Fun Cooper fact. If you're an Inside the Actors Studio fan, which I am, he made 2 appearances while he was going to new school as a student, asking a question. One of Robert De Niro, who he later starred with in Silver Linings Playbook. Pretty crazy, huh?
Wow.
Yeah. Pretty crazy.
And he's fucking Tom Brady's wife.
Yeah. Over since 29.
Girlfriend, yeah.
Oh, old dummy got a lot of hits in the head.
Jared knocked over his boner, and Bradley Cooper was looking good in those photos. You're right, Jared.
Knocked over his beer with his boner. That'll make more sense.
Yeah.
Man, the way he looks at Gaga in A Star Is Born when he says, I just want to get one last look at you.
Yeah. I think Jonah Hill would handle this situation.
Oh, he would freak out.
Oh, he'd abort. He'd just abort.
Murder, suicide.
He'd have her. He'd have her committed.
No,
somehow.
he's just going on to the next. Jonah Hill seems like he's cutting and running a lot. You know, that's what people are saying. But he's an impending father though, so he's got to stick around now.
Pat, have you seen the meme where it's I just want to look at you one more time, and then it's his point of view, and then instead of Lady Gaga, it's a upside down dog with a nutsack and sunglasses over the nutsack. That's pretty good.
That great dog. It's a boxer, I think.
Yeah, it's a boxer. It's nuts. I just want to give one more look at you.
So, we'll see what happens there. By the way, one more thing. The Broncos also acquired kicker Wil Lutz. I don't know, in a trade with the Saints. Blockbuster
Huge
trade.
Kicker shake.
It's surely to really shake things up. Yeah. Surely to shake things up in the AFC West, which is also why I'm calling the Broncos to win the Super Bowl this year, thanks to Wil Lutz. So there you have it.
You know who their quarterback is, right? Wes?
No, I don't.
Old trade that didn't work out.
Oh, yeah. What's it? The Seattle.
Let's ride.
Yeah. For Seattle. Speaking of Bradley Cooper, definitely putting anal beads up Irina Shayk.
Wait, so Wes, you're betting on them just because of Wil Lutz? Has nothing. Okay.
No. Just because of Wil Lutz. He's going to turn the whole team around.
Right.
Wil Lutz has big nuts.
Did you see what they did last night? They destroyed some team. I forget who they played.
Yeah, 41-0 in a preseason game.
Yeah.
Stidham
that's a good predictor. Wes, what do you think? Commanders over 9 wins?
Ooh, the real questions.
No, I think there's still too much turmoil going on with the team. They're not focused enough yet. They're too worried about what they're going to be called to play football.
Let me ask you a question, Pat. Is that over the next 2 seasons you're taking that? Or?
What odds? No. Mark, Same house. What odds do I get on a push at 9?
Oh, it's plus 300, I think.
I think 9's possible. But
9's unlikely in the NFC East.
It's a stretch goal.
Yeah.
It's over under 8.5. So
I think, I think Vegas has it at 7.5.
Oh
well, Vegas doesn't.
That's moved that.
Doesn't know what I know.
They moved that lineup.
All right, let's move on.
3-0 in the preseason. I mean,
you guys remember Hans Niemann? The chess grandmaster. He's accused of beating Magnus Carlsen by sticking anal beads connected to a chess cheater called a chess engine in his ass, and they claimed the anal beads were pulsating him the correct moves to beat Magnus. Remember that?
Yep,
of course.
Vaguely.
Yeah. How could we forget?
And you remember Hans sued Magnus, another player, and chess.com for defamation, lost wages because they banned them from chess.com to the tune of $100 million. Remember that?
Yes.
Well, that was thrown out by a judge.
Right.
I guess, I don't know if they settled out of court. Not sure if money was involved, but they did reinstate Hans to be able to compete and said it stood by the findings in its report on Niemann, including that we found no determinative evidence that he has cheated in any in-person games. So sorry to say, it's a lot more fun to believe he was using anal beads, but they're saying, look, we're not gonna say he cheated with anal beads anymore.
The fuck would they
wait? Wait. So they settled out of court, and part of the settlement was saying he never cheated.
They let him back in. Yeah.
They let him back in. Yes, absolutely.
Just like he
dropped
let
it.
those anal beads that were hooked up to that Bluetooth situation where he was getting them, he was getting the moves buzzed to his butt.
Back
Just like
in.
he let those in.
So Magnus
in.
just got beat. They're
Well,
saying
no. I want to hear from
Back him in,
Magnus
Mark.
because there's no way, Will, that Magnus is going to admit that he got beat fair and square. He's
Right.
Well,
there's no
here's
way.
what Magnus had to say. He said, and they noted that he said this frostly in the article.
Frostly.
I acknowledge and understand chess.com's report, including its statement there's no determinative evidence that Niemann cheated in his game against me at the Sinkfeld Cup. I'm willing to play Niemann in future events should we be paired together. Remember, the next match, Magnus stood up and wouldn't play him. That was
right.
So we might get the
is there any
rematch after all.
plans? Right. Is there any plans to put them together? Because I mean, I think they.
Well, I think it'll naturally happen if this guy didn't use anal beads and he beat Magnus. He's the only guy on the planet that can do that, leading me to believe if they're in a tournament together, they're going to see each other.
Yeah.
So,
but
Hans
Magnus doesn't typically. I mean, Magnus always gets to the top. Hans doesn't always. So
Magnus is going to make him sit on a metal chair so he can hear it. You know what I mean? Like maybe some assless chaps.
Right. It sounds like
Hans said he played naked.
It's like when your phone is on something that has reverberation and it's not supposed to go off like during a play. Right. That's what you got to have with him.
One of those like tin bar stools, you know, like. That would
make it so you can hear him.
Foolproof.
Yeah.
Hook a stethoscope up to his butt. Have a guy.
It's sad, but it sounds like he just didn't cheat with anal beads.
Yeah, I mean, I wish he did. I really wish he did. But
who came up?
It's a more fun story.
Magnus,
Magnus obviously planted the anal bead story.
What's a better plant?
100%.
The dossier, or like the P tape from Trump, or this? Because
right, Hillary's P tape
good,
or Magnus's anal beads.
Steel dossier.
Yeah.
Magnus is
not even,
dude. Yeah. Because let me ask you this question: before this story came out, right? Name one professional chess player.
True. Yeah.
See.
Now I know Hans Niemann, and I know I hate Magnus Carlsen.
Yeah.
So we'll looking forward to seeing the two meet finally. Got another update. Remember this lady, Artemis Langford? She's a transgender woman that joined the Kappa Kappa. Maybe this will refresh your memory. The Kappa Kappa Gamma sorority at the University of Wyoming, and she was creeping all the girls out by staring at them in the halls, not saying a word for hours, and getting erections during movie night that could be seen through her leggings. Remember that?
I call top bunk.
Allegedly.
Yeah. I call bottom bunk.
Allegedly, that's right, Pat.
Right.
No proof of the boners, but I tend to believe it.
Yeah.
If I could go back to college, right? I might pull this move.
Hold on. Put that back.
She was removed, right, Wes? Like they
filed a lawsuit because Artemis wanted to move into the house, and the 6 sorority sisters were like, no boners allowed, and they sued. They sued not only the national chapter of Kappa Kappa Gamma, which was saying, hey, we don't discriminate against anyone. Deal with it, ladies of Wyoming chapter. But so it went to court, and a judge this past Friday said, sorry, ladies, boners allowed.
Artemis is in the sorority house.
Artemis is in. She is going to be allowed to do whatever the fuck she wants in the sorority. And here's the judge, Alan Johnson. He threw out their case, and he said, from the New York Post, said, quote, since the Kappa Kappa Gamma sorority bylaws do not define what a woman is, I'm not going to either. This court will not define a woman today. Have fun with the boners in the sorority house. That's what he said.
I'll tell you,
he put it back on Kappa Kappa Gamma.
What will define these Kappa Kappa Gammas is their terrible catchphrasing for sorority events. That graphic you put up there, Wes, taco bout mental health, Kappa Kappa Gamma, which obviously,
well, I mean, they're
probably
just
a taco night.
That was an event. Yeah.
You eat tacos and you talk about your feelings.
I get what it is, but no one went tacoing about mental health.
Well, I'd say those are equal.
Yeah,
really. Sounds like you maybe Kappa material.
I mean, I don't know if it really blows it out of the water. What's the first one again?
Taco about mental health.
I like that one better than
taco about mental health. Okay,
about mental
taco
health.
in. about mental health.
I don't
Talking about mental
Talking.
health.
Talk about
Talking.
mental health. Talk about.
Wow, that's
That's
just.
it.
I mean, that's
That's
it's
6.5.
yeah,
for mental health.
it's really you're just trading
Yeah.
one apostrophe.
All right, Kappas.
Yeah.
Anyway, so she's in. Artemis is in.
Artemis is in. Dude, what is Kappa Kappa Gamma gonna do? Because these girls are gonna keep fucking complaining and like
They'll probably
the
just
6
burn
of
down the
them are
house.
gonna protest.
I mean, they
it.
let her in, bro. This is the biggest
Well, the 6
school in the
Artemis
state.
rubs her boner on 6 of the girls, and
They let her in
don't want it.
before she got a little creepy and bonerish
And
Right.
so
and
Right.
wanted to live
so,
and shower in the same house.
so what's Kappa Kappa Gamma gonna
Well-
do now? Because like these girls aren't gonna stop getting Artemis's boner rubbed on them now that she's moving into the house.
Listen,
So-
hopefully it goes to Supreme Court. That's what we can hope is that it goes all the way to the Supreme Court.
Is she in the house or is she off the house? Is she living in the
I don't
house?
know why she would even want to be there anymore. Obviously, nobody like these.
Yeah,
these
they're probably-
particular
they're
6
probably,
it's a very
like-
hostile environment
Yeah,
for her at
exactly.
this point.
Yeah.
But
The whole
I don't know if
thing
she's actually in the house yet.
The whole thing confuses me. I mean, if you guys been keeping up with Bama Rush, like sorority bidding is exclusionary. Like it just is.
Yes.
It's set up.
Oh
that
no,
way.
she's in a program, Pat, that allows her into the sorority. By Wes covered it the first time around. She's in a program that forces her into the sorority, basically.
It's a non-discriminatory clause.
She's
Yeah.
a legacy.
No, she like filed paperwork to force her way in, and it worked.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
that's weird. Or like why? Why
And
would
then
you wanna be
rubbed
in a
her boner
club?
on six of the girls allegedly. And
She
then
wants
they're
in there,
like,
Pat.
We don't want
It's
it.
lingerie night.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, I forgot mine.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. Normally, this stuff is like not some big elaborate scheme. Almost always, when it comes
Right.
to transgender people just trying to be
This
who
could
they
be.
want to be. This might be a big elaborate scheme.
This could
And
be.
Artemis is
Yeah. Artemis might be playing chess better than Hans.
Yeah. We'll see.
Genius. Yeah.
a lot more to come on that one for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. More to come. Right to the Supreme Court. Speaking of things that, speaking of finding things where you least expect it, like a boner in the pants of a sorority sister. One lucky man thought he found a windfall outside of a bank in Connecticut. You see, back on May 30th, one of the town's tax collector employees dropped a deposit bag containing $5,000 containing tax payments, tax funds from this town. Trumbull, I think is the name of the town. And this reminds me, I worked for Pizza Magia in college, and twice the same employee, the same manager that was responsible for dropping the night bag, claimed that she got robbed 2 times. She did it twice.
It's dangerous in Lexington,
She
She
Kentucky.
did it again.
She did it twice. She kept getting robbed.
They must know my car or something.
Yeah.
Did she ever come back after that night, or was
I think she got fired after the second time
I
of
would
doing it.
imagine. you're
Right.
fired after the second time.
Yeah, I mean, once you can't
Well,
fire her
good
because maybe she really did get robbed, but twice she's a thief. And so what happened is that this tax employee was on the way to the bank to deposit this bag. It was marked with the insignia of the bank. It said property of the bank, and the dum dropped the bag outside in the parking lot. Now I don't know if it was a scheme where someone was supposed to come pick it up, but in swoops 57-year-old Robert Withington. He happened to be in the right place at the right time. He looked down and he was like, well, my day's done. I'm just going to pick this bag up and go home. It's $5,000.
That's
And of course, the tax person, whether or not the scheme, didn't play out or they realized the bag was missing, they called the police. They tracked him down through security footage, and now he's being charged with larceny. And he's saying his quote was, "Yeah,
Come
he's being
on.
charged with larceny. Yeah,
just take
fuck.
the fucking bag back.
Right.
That's ridiculous.
We probably
the guy.
spent it all.
Oh,
I mean, if you're Robert Withington, you spend-
right. You spent the $5. How much is it? $5,000? Wes?
almost $5,000 was in the bag. Yeah,
Okay.
Well, it's inside of me, and some of it's on the prostitute.
yeah, exactly. You better
Some of
call up
it's inside of me, and
Star.
some of it's on her.
Look, this prostitute was gross. The type that will make you squirm, and then
Yeah.
you know what happens.
You can
Spent it on
scrape-
one night, officer.
You can scrape it off her.
Yeah, exactly. So Robert
You
said,
Not
want
sure if you can recoup $5,000 for it at this point, but
Some of
She
it's
might
in
go-
my nose.
She might be able to work a credit deal out with you. Let me talk to her.
Yeah. So the
My
local
lucky
news.
day, I got this bank bag with $5,000 that might as well go on a bender immediately.
I mean,
Pretty
there's
much,
a time in all
dude.
our lives that would have been exactly what happened.
Right. I think all of us though would have realized about security cameras at banks.
Dude.
Yeah.
He opens the bag, looks at it, and just thinks to himself, I'm going to burn it to the ground.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the best day of my life. This is gonna be the best day of your life, Robert.
He turns his phone off
Yeah.
so his wife can't call him.
He checked in the hotel.
He puts on that song Firestarter.
Picking up whores. Get in.
Yeah, it's like a caravan of whores. So the local news called Robert to get a story, and Robert said this: said, I found it. There was no one there. I didn't steal it. I didn't steal it from anybody. I come out of the bank. I'm just getting over COVID. I had my mask on. When I walked outside, there was no one out there, but there was a police officer parked to the left. He had sunglasses, looking at his cell phone. I looked down. I was like, there's something there. So I picked it up under my arm, like no biggie, and I just walked back into my car. And he doesn't feel like, he didn't feel like he did anything wrong because finders keepers.
Yeah.
It is finders keepers if it's just the cash, right? If there's no deposit or withdrawal slip, if there's no bank bag, if there's no insignia, if it's not directly outside the bank. If you find like $500 on the street in the middle of nowhere, you can probably keep it, right?
Yeah.
But this is a little
100%.
different. This is different.
Because it had because it said property of this particular bank. It had the insignia. It was obviously a deposit bag. It's basically, it
was right outside the bank.
Robert's an idiot.
Yeah.
So tough for Robert, but I hopefully he at least had a great time, which it sounds like, from our
he did.
He did.
No, you can pretty much allegedly he had a great time.
Well, if he spends like a week in jail for this, it's a week in a jail. I mean, they're not going to give him too much. It's like the equivalent of like dining and ditching it, but they make you like do dishes for a couple hours.
He got a free great night out of it.
Yeah, like he had like a great day, and he's going to pay it off in the back end in a few days in the clink. No big deal.
I hope he stretched it to 18, 22 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they took him forever to find him. He eventually turned himself in because they knew they were hot on his trail.
Once the money ran out.
Yeah,
I'm sure
he was out of money.
Yeah.
And gas.
I'm sure those last few days were great.
Yeah. I kind of ran out of gas over here, 22nd Street. If you want to come get me.
He calls the police. He's like, look, how do I say this? A prostitute took my last $300. You got to get oh, no.
He lights his cigarette with the last dollar and calls 911.
Dude, when I was working for the bank in Charlottesville, there was my team manager was this sweet, young, unassuming chick, and at least 2 or 3 times at the end of the night, she was responsible for counting her drawer, and I know she stole $60 to $100 from me. She'd be like, "Oh, your drawer's short again." And I'd be like, "Oh, it's short again, is it? Is it?"
That happened to me too. Ooh. My drawer was always short an even amount, and I was like, I'm pretty good at math. I don't think
at
so.
the same bank.
People are skimming 20s.
Yeah, it's
left and right.
Yeah, people at banks do that, and definitely happened to me in West. And then the story from the one Bank of America in Austin, not the one I worked at, but nearby, 2 women were the general manager and the top 2 positions, the vault manager. They stole $5 million over 10 years in the early, the late 90s to the early 2000s, right when we're moving to Austin. They got away with it for 10 years.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of temptation.
Yeah, for sure. Usually those long-term scams get caught, but I'm sure it happens more than you even know. Like you
can pinch.
You guys saw it at work. So
$50-$60 from an unassuming moron who doesn't want to be there, like Mark and I, and it's no problem.
Because we're like, okay, what are you gonna fire us? They're not. They're like, who hates their job the most? We'll just pinch a couple 20s out of their drawer. Yeah.
Exactly. Who comes to work hungover and disheveled? Okay, he can't count. Yeah,
guys, live internet comment from SU at youtube.com/hardfactornews. Truly honored that the first time my hometown gets a shout out on the pod is about some moron stealing a bag of cash outside a bank and thinking he did nothing wrong.
There you go. Trumbull. I think that's right. Trumbull, Connecticut.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's beautiful up there.
This is my lucky day.
Lovely. Paul.
Founders, keepers.
Absolutely. And that brings us to
the cream of the crop.
Guys, I want you to meet the Ulas family. I'm going to play the clip in a second. They're a unique family that live in Turkey in a small village. They were first discovered back in 2006 and described as the missing link between man and ape. Then quickly a scientific paper was written about them, then a documentary by the BBC, and the Turkish study suggesting that devolution may have occurred, reversing 3 million years of evolution. And here they are. Can you describe what makes them unique?
Oh,
They walk like
Well-
horse girls.
yeah, but they're walking like that on purpose, right?
This is terrifying.
No, they aren't.
I mean, they walk.
Why are her eyes sadistic?
They
What are
walk
their-
like
what's
apes.
with why is their face? What's wrong with their faces?
Yeah, but they're
He
dressed
looks
in
like-
like slacks.
He looks like he just found a bag full of $5,000 of cash.
yeah.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Wait, they're
Are they cannibals?
They look like it, don't they, Mark? I mean, you don't.
Yeah.
That's the last thing you want to see coming at you. These people.
you're telling me,
They made it
Wes,
to the
that
beach.
they never walk on 2 feet. This family, the whole family.
A certain amount of them don't. So
Right.
Look at the
okay.
dumpers on them from this method of walking. They get real
Well,
big
you
asses.
develop a strong core.
Yeah, real big
yeah,
butts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
real
Spinning
strong
gold with those Rumpelstiltskins.
Oh, this guy's
Yeah.
trying to walk. That guy was
Yeah.
walking.
It's
So-
not so much
yeah.
the walking; it's the deranged look in their eye paired with the walking.
that
butt.
one.
Yeah,
The
that's what I'm
back-
saying,
and the-
Pat.
yeah, the back feet going straight outwards. It's also like
Yeah.
it's
The
it
licking
really
of the lips
looks like a gorilla.
Yeah, I don't mind the mountain climber movements, but it's the eyes and yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Very
the shoes
creepy.
on the feet too. I mean,
Yeah.
the shoes on the hands.
Yes, yeah.
Right. I mean, it looks like you just took a regular family and gave them a shitload of drugs. I mean,
Or they're real tired.
like, so that video kind of
pretty
appeared to
accurate.
be like,
But what I was thinking to Tiller and me are on the same page. Like, why'd you lift it up? Live commenter Tiller, why'd you lift it up if you didn't want me to smell it? Like, they're always ready to bang in that position. It's like
Sure are.
like animals. Yeah.
And
the
it's
man's
possible
gonna
that
have a harder
they
time though.
do
Always.
bang each other.
Hold on.
Hmm.
Take it to intern Jackson, and I believe him. I see this behavior at music festivals every year. Definitely on some stimulants.
Yeah, dude, they look like they took like a bunch of like bath salts or some shit. Like
You got to
piece
get
of
over to the
weed.
next stage.
and they're
Right,
just like
they're trying to find the Molly guy.
or too much acid or combination of uppers with acid that's just sending them into all 4 zone. Yeah.
Well, so there's a theory. This guy, Professor Nicholas Humphrey, he's a evolutionary psychologist at the London School of Economics, and he's been studying these freaks for years. And he said that out of 18 kids in the family, 6 of them were born with this trait, never before seen in
What
human
trait?
adults. The trait to walk on all 4s like that. And he also said that the researchers at a Liverpool university found that the children had skeletons that more resemble apes than humans and had shrunken cerebellum, and this
Huge
condition
asses.
usually so
And
it's-
dumpers that just won't quit.
and dumpers that won't quit.
Till the
Li-
cows come
Little
home.
heads, bunched backs, and big asses.
Yeah,
We had a whole
You should
chapter on the asses.
You should see
Huge.
these things shit. They just kneel.
they
So
also
wait, is it smaller cerebellum so they have a shrunken brain, Wes?
Yeah, yeah.
well
little
yeah
heads,
so
large, yeah.
so it's also important to note that the parents of these kids were second cousins. So some people say that
Oh,
the
yeah,
inbreeding
that's right,
may have
yeah.
caused this genetic defect.
Yeah,
But
maybe.
you know, it's not all of them are doing this, and it's also because they maybe were never taught to walk as,
right.
as-
So you're telling me that two
They're just
two
neglected.
family members, 2 cousins who were like, "Hey, we're the weirdest family in the world. We both walk on all 4s. Let's have kids." Those people had kids, and then this happened.
Can you
Yeah.
Willie?
Yeah, we took the time to teach them how to walk.
Because if one of those big rubber dump skis were in front of you at eye level, lift it up.
At a
and you
concert.
smelling it,
If I'm at a festival and people are walking around like that, I'm gonna
I'm
squirm.
going Shakedown Street stat. What are these
So-
boys on?
They did
She's
give
calling
the-
me over.
They did give this guy Humphrey did give the kids some equipment to help them walk on just 2 feet, and he said that led to significant improvements by the time he went back to Turkey. He
Right.
also said that on
He
one of
looked
his
like he
visits, he
walked
was
it. It was
viciously
wonderful.
attacked by the family and only managed to escape by jumping in a nearby pond for safety.
There you
Is that
So.
satire? Because that's what it seems like it would happen.
Yeah, that's satire.
Because it seems like that's likely to happen.
Yeah, I know, right? It makes it pretty believable.
Incredible situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So pretty crazy
they-
to just happen upon these people.
Right. How did they find him? Wes, I was going to ask.
It
Did
took
they
till
ask for help, or
2006.
did-
They were
Right.
just living in this small, weird village in Turkey.
What do they eat?
I don't know.
So a
Fingers.
neighbor finally called like a doctor somewhere and was like, "Hey, can you guys come check out the family next to me? That we're just want to make sure they're not werewolves or whatever."
Right.
We got to
Pretty
get
much,
60
yeah.
minutes out here.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the doctors were like, "Holy shit, we can make some ad money on this video."
Look
of
at the
them.
man's face. YouTube.com/hard factor. Come on.
Yeah.
He
Look
looks
at
like he's
scary.
rolling.
It's very,
Yeah.
very scary. Very
Yeah,
disturbing.
they look like they're on drugs. They're
and
like,
they don't walk on their like they don't they noted that they walk flat-handed like apes walk on their knuckles. These people
Yeah.
walk flat-handed.
It's not
So
even
it's-
the most efficient way
And
to
that
walk.
this girl,
Yeah.
okay, that's the
can't even
one.
do that right.
The girl who is struggling to walk on all fours. That's why I find it a little bit weird. It's like this
think-
girl.
You
She's
think
like,
they're faking it
that's-
for the
well,
cameras.
that girl's like not. That doesn't look like she's comfortably walking on all fours.
The
Looks
one
like it
with the
would be
hungry look in her
easier-
eye, Will.
easier for her to stand up. Now this guy with the sideways feet, he's
Sideways. He's
That's
oh, that's-
hilarious.
sorry,
she's been doing
another
it for
girl.
years. Yeah.
another girl. Yeah, she's into it. She's into deep. But some of them look like they could walk standing up.
How do
It's
they
crazy.
shower? Do they roll around in like a pond to bathe, or
Dude, who knows? I mean, I don't know. What's
how do they
going
turn on
there.
the shower? Do they like hunch up like a
The shower, Mark?
You got to be able to stand up like a bear, like a sun
yeah,
bear.
like a bear, like hunch up? Yeah, like
The shower. The
Well, yeah.
well.
They lay on their back and use their feet. I don't know. So pretty crazy. Missing links. We found
Thanks,
one.
Wes. No, that's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Good to know.
And that cup of coffee was brought to you by Bird Dogs. And I'll tell you, if they do ever learn how to walk on 2 feet, they'd look really good in some Bird Dogs. It would really turn their life around. They wouldn't look like people that used to walk on all fours. They would look like normal human beings. Actually, they'd be quite stylish. And you can look stylish too by going to birddogs.com/hnews. And when you do that, if you order some shorts or a nice polo or some joggers, you're going to get a free tumbler. Keep your beverages cool in the summer, hot in the winter. And
Fantastic tumbler.
it's quite a combo, these shorts and this tumbler. So go to birddogs.com/hnews.
do you think if we just shipped these Turkish people some bird dogs and they slapped them on, they would get it?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they'd also benefit more than anybody from bird dogs because of how high their ass is all the time. They're just showing off the bird
Yeah.
dog zone constantly. So
They don't have underwear and they wouldn't need it.
right.
Good point.
Yeah, because the inner liner,
Yeah.
That's right.
Yep.
if they choose to.
And the stretchy material is perfect for walking on all fours.
Very
Yeah.
true.
That's true, man. Guys, I think we've talked about a little bit. Bats. They're not as scary as a lot of people think that they are. And in fact, they're really pretty useful. They save billions of dollars every year because they eat all the pests, man. They consume half their body weight in insects every night. And in Texas, bats are so important, right, that cities design their bridges to create bat colonies after the Austin Bat Bridge, right, which inadvertently stumbled upon that architecture. But other cities, they rock it because you need the bats. Bats are good, man. They're like bees, right?
Right.
I get a bunch of them every night at my new house. I get about
Right.
15 a night of bats. Yeah.
You know what's really fun?
Sit out there and watch them.
When bats are out, you ever throw rocks and make them think it's a bug?
Yeah,
That's really
yeah.
fun. I love that.
Bomb them. Yeah.
Yeah, because they hunt by radar, and so like you can just
Right,
throw a
right.
rock near bats and they'll go swoop towards it. It's fun.
Mhm.
Right. Sounds like you got something in common with the operations manager of the Mall of Abilene, Will, Jason Moore.
He likes to bait bats with rocks. Throw 'em.
He likes to do something to bats. Not good. So the Mall of Abilene, Texas, West Texas, right? Midwest Texas. There's been a bat colony there forever. They roost there on the side of the building. And I don't know how long Jason Moore has been the operations manager there, but I'm going to read you a little excerpt from batworld.org, guys. So this is straight from batworld.org, which is a real website. Trust me. Here we go. On Tuesday, August 8th, we received word from Big Country Wildlife Rehabilitation Center that bats were roosting at the Mall of Abilene and were in danger of possibly being killed by the operations manager, Jason Moore.
Jason Moore.
Yep. I will continue. Note that
World.
these bats had been roosting at the Mall of Abilene for years without any issues. We called Mr. Moore right away to offer advice on how to humanely exclude the bats. And we also spoke with the Orkin office, Orkin is a pest control company, in Abilene about humane bat exclusions. The manager at Orkin was wonderful, wanted to do what was best for the bats. Mr. Moore, the manager, also agreed doing a humane exclusion the following week was in order. The following day, August 9th, however, Jason Moore instead decided to seal the roost with silicone. Some of the colony had left their roost before it was sealed, but dozens ended up trapped inside, unable to leave the roost. Then they sought an escape route and ended up inside the mall. Exactly what we explained to Mr. Moore would happen if he sealed the roost. And when we found out the bats were sealed in, we called Jason Moore and offered to do an exclusion for him so the remaining bats trapped inside the roost could escape. And we received a photo of bats huddled at the entrance of their newly sealed roost. There's the photo. Trying to get back inside. They could hear the cries of the trapped roost mates inside, sealed as the hot sun seared down on them.
No.
Temperatures rose to 110 degrees Fahrenheit. We also heard that one of the bats was stuck in silicone. When we asked Mr. Moore what happened to that bat, he replied, "Oh, he's still up there." You guys follow?
What?
Oh, he's still up there. Okay, so
I
here's
wish
what
he
happened.
wasn't, but he is.
So Jason came to work one day on August 8th and said, "I'm sick and tired of these goddamn bats." Okay, and I guess they'd put an enclosure up, so he just sealed that fucker off with silicone.
Off you go.
When you say silicone, is like a spray or a wrap?
Like
No,
caulk.
like caulk.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
caulk.
silicone.
Okay. Caulk.
Yeah,
Okay,
like
got it.
Right,
like
So
filler. So there's some crack in the roof where these bats keep getting in and out of every night, and they stay right under the roof. It sounds like, and he
Right,
sealed it off.
Yeah.
Jason Chinese finger trapped himself as the operations manager of the Abilene Mall because had he left the roost open, they wouldn't have gone inside. But he sealed it, so they in fact went inside, and that made Jason Moore even madder, guys. So Big Country Wildlife Rehab Center and Bat World are trying to save these bats because they keep hearing rumors that Jason's talking a big storm about killing all these bats.
Oh, he's gonna kill the ones that got left inside 100%.
Well, he told
Ask him now.
How old is this story? They're probably dead.
Right.
Oh,
I mean, if
It's 110 degrees, and he's got a weaponry in there. I mean,
so they're calling Jason. They're like, "Jason, please don't do it." And he according to someone at Bat
he
World,
just doesn't want to tell him it's already done.
right?
Jason told them,
Don't do what?
told the people at Bat Worlds multiple times that he quote wanted them dead. He wants the bats dead. So they rushed over there and they were able to get close to 200 bats out. Okay, but some bats had still gone in. And I guess they told Jason, like, it's going to take like a week to get these bats out, just cool out.
You got 6 hours.
Right, pretty much.
So how many are left in there? Like 15?
Well, here are some of the texts between Jason.
There's no
Okay.
chance these 15 are surviving.
No,
man.
they're dead.
Right. Here are some of the texts
already
between
dead.
Jason. So someone at a Big Country or Bat World says, "Hi, Jason. Wanted to follow up." Jason says, "We have several in the mall now. Not sure what happened, but now they're inside. Any ideas?" The Bat Rescue people say, "Probably because everything was sealed off and they're trying to find a way out. I know they installed netting, but their exits are sealed. We figured this would happen. Where are they and who was contacted to remove? We'll take care of them for sure." And what they're getting at there is he probably called Orkin. So they called Orkin first and were like, "Please don't kill these bats." Here's Jason again. "They did, but now they're inside. They're not leaving."
He's like, you don't get it. They're inside. Like, no, we get it.
that again. He said, "Bat World installed one of those valves where they were, and they removed our seals, but they're inside. Can't get them out now."
Oh,
That world.
So he's saying I let you open it back up, and it's worse
Right.
than ever.
Right. He continues, "I got 2 of them in a box if you can send someone to get them."
Dead.
She says, How long have they been in the box, Jason? When you sealed the walls, they had nowhere to go. Jason said, okay. They've been in there an hour.
He does not give a fuck.
She says,
No.
are they inside the mall? Did you call anyone? No, they're in the truck.
Those are dead.
Those two,
I'm talking
those two have no ventilation in a box in a truck in Texas.
Those two are done.
Right. She says, I'm talking about the other bats. Is the truck running? Yes. No. They're in the bed of the truck. She says, okay, so they're outside in a box and they've been there for an hour in this heat? And Jason says, yes.
Yep.
Never mind. They died.
Yep.
Yeah,
Got too hot, apparently.
Time to fess up. Got too hot.
That's what happens when you leave bats in a box for the summer.
He checked. Wait, the car's not running and they're dead.
Are they in the truck? Is the car running? Yes. No. I'm gonna be straight with you. No. So the person from Bat World or Big Country says, I'll be contacting the game warden. He says, okay, thank you. We're done. Don't contact
the game
me
warden's
again.
not going to do anything.
Have a good day.
Jason.
No, that was how that was going to end. He was killing the bats, and Bat World people were going to lose their shit. Like, and that's how that conversation ends. 10
So
times
basically,
out of 10.
Jason is just a guy who doesn't give a fuck about bats, who has to deal with a shitload of bats.
Yes. If you were to have
these people from Bat World,
if you were to have a Groundhog's Day or multiverse scenario, it always ends up the same way at the end of that text thread. He killed
Why
a
the
few
fuck
of
do they
them.
care about these
He
fucking
admits to
bats?
it.
I don't
They hate him. Yeah.
Yeah. One of the
Okay,
reps.
thank you. We're done.
Yeah.
One of the reps I quoted just earlier said, this is a quote. He told us multiple times he wanted them dead.
Oh yeah.
So he's focused on that.
With an ear. Yeah.
He thought it would be a one-stop shop, a quick day's work, and we tried to tell him it just doesn't work like that.
Well, I just wish I could snap my fingers and have them all dead.
He's
People are
gonna kill all
starts
of them.
every conversation like
Well,
that.
anyone
now.
that he catches and kills, he's just going to dispose of the body not on site because he doesn't want the game warden to see it. So,
So the game warden came out. There's nothing game warden can do because Jason's allowed. The game warden said.
Yeah.
The game warden essentially said, "Jason, that's not cool." That's what the game warden
he's
said.
like, too bad.
Why did
It's
you do
pest
that,
control
Jason?
at his own property. There's not.
You know, you're giving me a headache,
Bat
Jason.
people-
You know that? You're giving me a headache with these motherfuckers up there.
Bat World people on
Yeah,
me.
this lady's calling me 8 times a day, Jason.
Ranger Rick's up my ass, Jason.
Here's what we're
They
going
don't
to
give
do.
a fuck. They're in Abilene, Texas. They don't give
Here's
a
what we're going
shit
to do.
about
You
this.
kill them quick.
The
Yeah, I
bats
wish
have
I
been
could
there.
just snap my fingers and have them all dead. Like I told you.
They've been there for like a decade. He was just like, "Nope, not today. I'm sealing it off."
The game warden helps him kill the bats to get it over
Yeah.
with.
Guys,
The funniest part of that text chain was that he let them come over and install a hole, and then he's still complaining of.
Well, he doesn't know who he's talking to. He's
Yeah,
like, the
he's
Bat
just
World folks
clueless.
came over here already. You're talking to
He's
Bat World.
clueless.
Yeah.
guys, I can't verify that this is the same Jason Moore. Okay, I can't, but I am just gonna real quick tell you about another Jason Moore from Abilene, Texas. Okay. This is back in 2014. Abilene man, 33, accused of throwing machete at wife. Could be the same
Well-
Jason. Could not be. I don't know.
Let's hope for the bat's sake it's not, because that.
Spelled the same way last name.
Same way. Last
Jason
name.
Paul Moore.
E at the end.
I don't know. Probably not the same guy. Don't know. Can't say for sure.
Wow. Let's see if those
People are
bats
big
make
mad.
it.
Oh no, they're
Yeah.
all dead.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I'd imagine all the ones inside with Jason didn't make it.
Wow.
None of the ones in his truck made it.
What a story.
Yeah, a saga. Pat, let us know if some of the bats make it out.
Well, that's probably something we'll do on the Hive Hour tomorrow. Is I got Jason's number, so
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes.
Oh yeah, yeah. You need to talk to Jason. Get it straight from the source. He's got a different perspective than all these journos out there. You know.
You ever been in a building with a bunch of bats?
get these goddamn
Maddening.
bats out of my mall.
What'd you make me the operations manager for?
Yeah.
Cut my legs out from under me.
I'm trying to operate.
Stick a bunch of bats in here. My hands
Is
are
the
tied.
truck? Is the truck running? Yes.
No.
No.
Okay.
They're in
He's
a
like,
box.
he's like trying to do a video of like moving their wings. He's like, look.
Yeah. Let me check. Oh yeah. No, they're dead.
Very dead. Very dead.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it doesn't kill them all. Want a few of those bats to survive, so the people of Abilene.
They got 200 of them out of there.
Mosquitoes eaten and whatnot, right?
It's a lot of bats in Texas. Austin can send them a few.
What happened to the bat that's stuck in silicone? Oh, he's still up there.
He's still stuck.
I hear him gnawing on it.
What the fuck do you think he is?
Fucking little squeaks.
I use DAP.
I'm haunted by these squeaks. You understand? All right, sorry. Let's get it going here. This story, I'll make it quick. It's called "Should We All Just Move to Sardinia?" That's it's a question. Just keep it on the back of your head while I go through this stuff. And so, first off, I'm not sure if you've seen the viral video circulating the internet this week of a fellow podcaster, Vince Dedario, from the Irish Breakdown Notre Dame football podcast, shitting his pants on stream. Here it is. Just
throw a lot of RPOs. Now they ran some because Navy never forced them to pull it and throw it. So I think they only completed like 3
there he goes.
RPOs
Shit his pants,
the whole time.
gets up, runs away. So that's Vince Dedario. That's the Irish Breakdown Notre Dame football podcast. Shat his pants on camera.
They look a little bit like us.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, you could, fellow podcaster, I could totally relate. Luckily, hasn't happened to me yet. Knock on wood.
We could totally
say
Dario it.
the majority of our communication is nonverbal.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the most. I mean, you just know exactly what happened to him.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's like,
everybody knows.
Yeah, my pants. He's
pointing at his ass.
Tough.
Yeah.
Live on the internet too.
Dedario.
I mean, you can't even make an excuse for something else. There's
Dedario.
nothing else.
No, everybody knows what happened to Vince. Hey, look, as a guy who has shit my pants before and as a podcaster, I stand with Vince. I hope he's doing better. But as bad as that is for Vince, and I hope he's doing okay, at least he's got a podcasting gig, right? He's got some kind of income, some kind of a job. He's not one of the many young people in China who are choosing to become full-time children. It's the newest profession in China, full-time child, instead of trying to work in a shrinking Chinese economy. Take, for example,
genius. This is like sorority dude going into a sorority. This is smart.
Yeah, no, it's pretty smart by the kids
Yeah.
and the parents too. You'll see why this actually makes sense for Chinese families right now, Mark. Take, for example, 31-year-old Zhang Zhiyai. And I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong, but she's of Hangzhou, China. And after years of studying, tons of college and stuff, she started a clothing company in 2020, but it just didn't work out. So now she's a quote unquote full-time daughter. And so she does that for her parents, who pay her $1,600 a month, whatever that is in yuan equivalent, to be their indentured servant. She's their personal trainer in the mornings. She books their travel. She's their travel booking assistant, digital advisor on how to work cell phones. Sure. She does all the basic child tasks. I would imagine it includes cooking and cleaning too, unless it's just the being paid to exist gig for her. But yeah,
they're well off. This family. Yeah,
they are, Wes.
Yeah,
it's kind of a trend amongst these full-time children. I think you'll notice.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah, I'd say
yeah.
So.
Yeah, and what's happening, right? It's a surprisingly common in China with the full-time children's work exchange center on Douban, which is Chinese Reddit. It's got more than 4,000 members of that sub Douban or whatever, So lots of people actually doing this. Others like Witty Shang, this guy right here, he says that he's doing it because of the one-child policy. He also looks rich. He's on a nice vacation there with his family. He's doing it because of the one-child policy where, he's an only child just like all the other kids his age because that was the law, combined with China's currently essentially unlimited work hours in the corporate world is what's causing him to stay at home forever. And despite going to all of China's top universities, he's like one of the top of his class, top trained in the country. He's like, no, I'm going to take care of mom and dad instead of working 70-hour work weeks and being chained to my desk.
These parents are probably counting their blessings for the one policy rule because, like, could you imagine if we had two of these losers?
You couldn't afford it.
Yeah,
couldn't make payroll.
Well, actually, the problem is that he's only going to make, by working his slave indentured job in China with 5 plus 12 plus hour shifts a week, he's only going to make just enough money to pay for somebody to watch his elderly parents anyways. So for the whole family, it makes a lot more sense for Witty Shang to just stay home with his top of his class, top universities like the Harvard of China, basically, makes sense for him to just stay home instead of work because of the country's policies that led them here. So like I said at the beginning, that's fucked up for China, right? Like I said at the beginning, all this makes me wonder if we should just drop everything and move to Sardinia, Italy. Okay, it's the smaller, more remote Italian island than Sicily, right in the middle of the Mediterranean, I think, in there. Right. And because the reason I asked this question, they're paying up to
Pat just crap his pants?
Pat may have shit his pants and used the opportunity of me putting up a map of Sardinia as the to escape. Without, we'll see when he comes back if he's got new underwear on. They are offering, Sardinia is up to $52,000 total if you move on to anywhere in Sardinia, a town with fewer than 3,000 people, renovate the residence using $15,000 of the budget that they give you, and make Sardinia your official residence within 18 months of arrival. And this place is a mountainous island with beautiful beaches, pizza, Italy. It's got me intrigued.
I would do
there was another place.
I would do it for 20 grand.
We covered. I covered a
story.
story.
Double that, Mark.
Where was the other place that they're doing the same thing over there?
That was like
more places in Italy.
Colder island, though.
Yeah.
No, that was a colder climate island. Sardinia.
Oh, that was in Canada or England, right?
Yeah, somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, that was like
the middle all over the place. Yeah,
dude, middle of the Mediterranean.
West, that was like you had to go and kind of like make sure that the locals had high self-esteem and like,
right.
You got to make. You're like the town manager. You're like the
same kind of
manager.
principle. You had to use some of the money to build a house there and
it's
settle
the same.
down there.
It's the same. They're trying to rebuild these ghost towns out in Sardinia with less than 3,000 people, right?
But West, this is perfect temperature.
Oh yeah, it looks much nicer than that one.
This is way
Sardinia
paradise.
Is the shit, dude. It's
early
amazing.
Hawaii.
Right. So
it's Mediterranean Hawaii, exactly.
Do they have internet?
What's so fucking crazy? I looked it up. They have surprisingly fast internet because they let Chinese companies EA and Huawei test their internet products there. So weirdly, they have fast internet.
To be an Italian resident?
No, they want non-Italians.
Fuck.
Right, saying Sardinia.
I'm signing up today.
So it's 52K minus
total
15K.
Total, if you 52K, you have to use of the 52K you get total
37.
You have to use 15 on the house or wherever you're renting to renovate it to make it nicer and newer, right? Because it's part of the goal.
That's a $37,000 relocation fee to Italy.
And then you work as a fisherman 16 hours a day.
Yep.
Yeah, but
well, depends on where you move to. I mean, there's only going to be so many
jobs are going to be
3,000 villagers.
No, but if they have good internet, we can do hard factor from there.
We can do hard factor from Sardinia. That's the point.
Yes.
Right. Or
I'd rather shit my pants on live stream from Sardinia.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Than from.
I mean, what are we doing?
Remote Reno. You know, I mean, it would be nice. We'd all be on the beach.
Yeah.
Hive Island. Sardinia could be Hive Island.
Oh, fuck.
Anyways,
good news.
And we'd be on the Chinese internet network, but I think it's worth it in the end. Trade off, you know.
One thing's for sure out of all Will's stories, Vince is going to need a new chair.
Yeah, you got to get a new chair if you shit your chair.
Yeah, got to get a new chair.
Sardinia is paradise. Look at the photos now.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I would tell you, I would do it for half what they're offering.
I'm telling you. Sardinia is intriguing, and they want you to move there to revitalize the
internet.
town.
Now, unfortunately, like if the internet's a real risk, because if you go all the way out there and the internet's not really working.
Starlink, though, bro.
Yeah.
Starlink, you got the combination of the Chinese and Elon that can help you out.
Move out there. It's like, sorry guys that didn't move out to Sardinia from Hard Factor, but we were duped, and I won't have internet at all ever.
That's very possible. We could easily risk it all on Sardinia, and the podcast would just end with us never being heard from again because we're just lost. Yeah. We're just scrambling to make it work in Sardinia with no internet.
We would be such terrible fishermen.
I
think we would get it down. It would be
Dude,
the first year would be comical.
But
I mean,
what a place to learn.
How many cigarettes we'd smoke over there?
All of them.
It would just be
the best.
Our wives would just leave us there. We'd just
everyone's getting divorced. In that
smell like a fucking ashtray over there.
No, it's basically Pat's
fish and cigarettes
at the beach plan. Yeah. Fish and cigarettes. Smelly guys. And BO.
Yeah, you smell like fish. Everyone smells like fish, baby.
It's Sardinia, honey.
Does
you live on the boat? Okay.
Yeah. All right, I got a quick one for you. I got a medical story for you today that will make you squirm, make you wiggle. A 64-year-old woman from southeastern New South Wales was admitted to her local hospital all the way back in late January 2021 after she was suffering from multiple weeks of abdominal pain and diarrhea, followed by constant dry cough, fever, and night sweats. And that 64-year-old woman was me, apparently. I mean,
right? Yeah, I mean,
mean,
you're saying that you get those.
I get all of those. What is she going to a hospital for?
Must have been pretty pronounced, right? It had to be, yeah.
Okay, you know,
Just a Tuesday.
yeah,
Just ride it out, babe.
yeah. What is she doing?
We call that Thursday in my house.
Exactly. I said I have that. So by 2022, her symptoms added forgetfulness and depression. Again, what? Huh?
Right. She's listing some common ones.
Right.
Yeah, not 100% satisfied. That's for sure.
I forget that my stomach pain is going to lead to diarrhea. Then I get depressed and burn through too much toilet paper. That's a Tuesday. That's, I got all these. I don't know what she's complaining about. She had to go to the hospital again. Anyway, she kept going to the hospital at some point.
Nothing was wrong, right? She's just there like, you're just
She's fine.
a whiner, lady.
Did she have a couple boxes of wine that week? Anyways, at some point, she convinced them to do an MRI. I guess they have universal health care over there, or she's a millionaire. And so they did the MRI, and they found a roundworm moving around in her head, an actual live worm in her brain.
Like something we would use for bait if we were fishermen in Sardinia?
Exactly like that. Here's a picture of it.
One and the same, Pat.
Yeah.
Just checking.
Hey, is anyone feeling like they have diarrhea going on? Maybe you can dig out the worm in your brain.
Well, that's like a legit worm.
Yes.
Just a straight up worm.
Oh, that worm looks like it made me squirm, and then the sperm that came out afterwards.
Dude.
Wiggling. So that was happened at Canberra Hospital, and neurosurgeon Dr. Hari Priya pulled that 8-centimeter long parasitic roundworm out of her patient's head. Again, it was still alive, and then immediately called over every doctor to be like, "Holy shit, you got to see this!" And one of those
dirty bitch.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to see that. Yeah.
You don't know the half of how dirty she is, Pat. You don't know how dirty
worm brain.
She's gross. You'll find out how she got it. One of those doctors was infectious diseases physician Dr. Sanjaya Sanayaki, who sent the live worm to the laboratory of a Cesaro scientist, which is the Commonwealth Scientific and Industrial Research Organization. It's a government organization over there in Australia. It sounds kind of like the CDC maybe in the US. And they sent it to like the infectious parasite section of that. And the scientist who was heading up that said, "Oh my goodness, this is a Ophidius Icarus robusticy worm," and I guess that's worm.
That's bad.
Yeah, that's bad. He said when he says, "Oh my goodness," that's the type of worm that's found in pythons, and it's the first ever case of it being found in a human being ever.
Whoa, she got it. Holy, she got a python worm in her brain.
Wait a minute.
How do you think she did that?
She was banging
Eating
thons.
python. Oh shit.
She
bad
was.
for pythons.
If you combine what Will said, that's what she was doing. She was eating python shit. It turns out the 64-year-old woman lives near a lake that has, guess what? A lot of carpet pythons. And you know what else she does? She forages the native grasses, including the greens from around the lake to use in cooking. So doctors and scientists involved in their case believe a python shit in the grass, shit a parasite into the grass. And then that lady was skipping around like fucking Heidi from the Alps, picking up grass and putting it in her picnic basket.
She just lives in a python den.
And then she goes home and makes salads without rinsing off the grass. And then she eats python shit, and then she gets worms from it.
She got worm brain.
Yeah.
Check out this dirty bitch.
Well, that's what makes her, Wes, realize that she's not living in a python den. She doesn't. The worm brain makes her just dismiss all these pythons around her shitting.
So what the hell did I eat?
Yeah. Well, Mark, we already established it. You got the toxoplasmosis gondii from the cats. I mean, as I've got a little as well.
Right.
Pat's got some as well. Wes is probably exposed, but not as much. Hey,
I got something.
He's been over to my house to eat. Yeah.
Hey, Mark, check out this video that Big Fudge sent me right before the show. I have to play it related to that story of the worm brain. Check out. This is a chick getting a medical procedure performed on her. You guys narrate it. What's happening? So they're
pulling a tube in her mouth. They're
looks
like
like a
sucking,
camera.
they're like sucking something out. Oh, they're pulling out a worm.
Oh,
Pulling out a
Oh,
big
what's
snake.
that?
tapeworm. Tapeworm.
what is it? What is that?
Dude, a full snake out of her throat.
Oh,
A snake got in this lady's throat while she slept.
Whoa.
That's the shit that makes you want to believe in the Bible, man.
Right?
Well, to that point, what the hell? Even the food can kill you in Australia. Remember the lady? Which one's worse? The lady who killed her in-laws and someone else with mushrooms that she foraged locally. Like now, this lady's getting python worms in her brain. Like,
Oh, Rick Holt sent me one of like a python or an anaconda. I don't know what they have in Australia, just coming off somebody's roof into a tree. Very shocking
you
stuff.
gotta wash your fucking grains, especially in Australia. What kind of ancient curse was put on that island? Did Zeus fuck an Australian chick behind Hera's back? Like, what's going on over there? I don't know.
Which is scarier, Australia or Florida?
Oh, I mean,
Australia.
I'd much rather eat at a Floridian's house and just, it's usually just a plate of cocaine.
Or macaroni and cheese.
Right, or
Kraft.
mac and cheese. Yeah.
the
They take
house
it out of the box.
spiders are the most dangerous spiders in the world. Literally.
Where would you rather spend a week?
Oh,
Australian forest or Florida Everglades?
I'd rather spend a week anywhere besides Australia. Like a prison, like a Colombian prison is safer than Australia.
Man, tough call.
Do I get an Aborigine with me or a Florida man with me?
You don't get
As
a
a guide.
You want like
You
a
don't
gay
get a
guide?
I
Yeah,
need
like
a guide. Yeah,
like someone that
don't
takes
get
you
a
to the
guide.
mountain. Yeah.
don't get a guide.
Because if you get the guide, obviously you'll pick Florida because then you can just drink beers with the Florida man. Like he'll just
Wes
drive you
and-
in the
No,
airboat.
the guide's going to get you in more trouble though in Florida because like people
Yeah,
are going to
that's-
come out. The guide in Florida is going to get like
You'll do
attacked.
meth, but you'll survive.
Yeah,
Wes and an Aborigine, man. I'd watch that reality show.
yeah.
I'd go Aborigine in Australia if I had a
Learn
guide.
the ways. Yeah.
If there's a guide involved.
Okay.
So
Easy
what do you
call.
think?
They're much wiser.
Guide
All right.
involved Australia. What about
Yeah.
No guide?
Of course, Florida.
Yeah, I'm
Go to
going
Florida
back
today.
Florida.
In the Everglades though, with the gators and shit.
Oh, the
I don't want to be in
Everglades?
the
And the
glades.
pythons, yeah.
So I'm saying
Lots of
Everglades
pythons.
or most dangerous Australian part, which is probably like northern Australia, where
There's
the crocodiles
Crocs
are.
and funnel web spiders and the most dangerous snakes.
Yeah.
I'd rather Florida for sure.
In that scenario, I'd rather go with whatever kills you quickest because I'm not surviving either, and I'm panicking the whole time.
I don't know. I think Australia just because it's I would enjoy the views more, but I would
Can I
probably
just
die in both.
Can I just kill myself?
Right. I'd rather die on the beach
Yeah.
eaten by a croc than in a swamp.
True. Well,
Eaten
that
by a
Australia on the like Gold Coast, like actually on the beach, besides like
Just
Jelly-
like northern Australia.
jellyfish and sharks, if you,
You
don't
would have
get
to
in the
make
water,
your way to the beach, and it would be a
Safe bush.
harrowing trip. Yeah, the bush exactly.
No, that's the show. No.
Nice comment here from John Foe. Love this pod. Love all the way from Vancouver. Screw Trudeau. Wow.
All right.
We love
Our
you
Cana-
too.
Our Canadian followers are
John
strong in the hive. We got a
Man, we
bunch.
connect
Show-
with Canada, man.
Yeah. We're like Hasselhoff was to Germans in Canada. Like we might need to move to Canada instead of Sardinia. But
They won't have us, bro.
Wow.
Should
they
look
might.
into it.
Sardinia is a lot more temperate. I will just put that out there. But Vancouver, where
Yeah.
John
Would you
Foe
rather
is
live
at,
in the
a
Everglades
little bit more
or
temperate.
Australian bush or get paid $52,000 to go to Sardinia?
Yeah, I mean
Sardinia.
Sardinia.
I'll spin the wheel.
All right, here's
Sardinia.
cup of coffee in the big time.
I'll have it.
Will.
We'll have your coffee.
All right, so that's the show. We're gonna be right back tomorrow with another one. So in the interim, get out there and have a great fucking day. Talk to you soon.